Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Nishani. Look at how beautiful you guys look this morning. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Now, Sprite, are you in the house? Super stuff. I love this energy. This energy is incredible. It is amazing. Now, as you know, igama lami ngingu Sipho Alphi Mkhwanazi, umntana kaMamsbosh. It's so good to see everyone. Lana Enel Sprite, all the way in Mbombela, TUT. Give yourselves a big round of applause for being here. Now, we're just gearing each other up. Our technical team is just setting up a few things just to make sure that we are live, because you guys understand that it is both a webinar and it's, you know, an in-contact event. So there are individuals that are joining us. Apparently they can see us, they are live. Let's say shine, everyone who's joining us online, shine. We are here with All4YOUth SSA, and we're just here as a group of individuals and a group of organizations that are here to ensure that we empower our youth with the relevant skills and everything that we need. Kwenzakalani ubheka msindo, kwenzakalani? Kwenzakalani? Ubuya bheka msindo. All right. Ngizocela just an hour of your time while we are online so that we can get our program going as quickly as possible, because we are pressured with time. This event is for you. The Career Hookup is for you to understand what opportunities are there in the big wide world after you graduate with your qualification here, after you do what you do here. So it is very imperative that you pay attention, that you understand the things that are going to be discussed here, that you ask the relevant questions, so that one day you may find yourself in one of these seats or operating one of these cameras one day, because all of this is for you to understand what does the big wide world have in store for me. You know, when I did varsity, which was, when did I have it? My parents, degree 4. When I was in varsity, we got a lot of these career events. We got a lot of professionals that used to come through and tell us so many things and, you know, give us so many tips. But I realized that it was up to us as the students and as the individuals to ask the right questions, to check what's going on, to know and understand, which, okay, this is where I slot myself in, this is who I am, this is what I do, and all of that sort of stuff. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you do have your mobile device, Ngela, we keep it. Please take out your cell phone if you do have one. Check if the camera works. I want to make sure that we take pictures, upload on social media, tag everything. I'm going to give you all the relevant hashtags. But for now, can we please put our phones on silent, please? When the show uthi phone yakho ku silent, angifuni kuzwa I-record i-ringtone yakho ihamba wena. Ikhala lana yabona while we do all our stuff online. Anyway, I want everyone to introduce themselves. I'm going to start from there, our director. Right at the end over there, and everyone's going to introduce themselves before we get into the crux of why we're here, so that everyone knows who everyone is. I'll hand over to you, Joy.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Nshani? Niapila? Okay. I think once the prizes come out, there's going to be more energy. My name is Joy Sibanyoni. I'm the Executive Director at Power Africa, and I'm also on the implementation team for All4YOUth SSA.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Joy and Alfie, for this wonderful opportunity. I am Cornelia Erasmus. I am from the Adcorp Group. Within that, Tokati would be representing them today. in the technical space. Whenever you need any assistance, that's what we're there for.
Sanibona na sport. Ninjani. Siyaphila. Nyathi ukuthi kusekhaya la. Kusekhaya. Angithi ngiyangiva ngikhuluma Siswati. Mina igama lami nginoxolo ne. I represent the Nestlé team. So I'm a senior partner in talent management and acquisition, and I also look after the youth portfolio for Nestlé East and South Africa, part of the Alliance company. So yeah, welcome and looking forward to engaging with you guys.
Hello everybody, my name is Refilwe Mujumi, Senior Learning and Development Specialist from ABB. And I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm so happy that you guys are here. I can even see high school students, and I'm very, very excited to have this opportunity to speak to you today. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Emmanuel Lebogang Manotwane. I'm glad to be here. I just came from Joburg with my team here. So I am the project coordinator for the Skills for Jobs initiative, which is a Microsoft initiative. I have been developing the Microsoft initiative for 2 years now, and we are happy to be here, and we're going to be showing you guys all what we have to offer in regards to the Mzansi Digital Learning Platform, which is a platform we developed with Microsoft.
Super stuff. Thank you so much to everyone who introduced themselves. Now, I've got an Oppo phone that is going to be won. So if you ask the right questions and you give the right answers, I'm going to make sure that I give away quite a few prizes. I also have a few hoodies, actually, also, that I'm going to be giving away as well. At some point, I'm going to do a dance challenge or a competition, and there's 5,000 rands to be won. Uyabona la khona mina khona imali. Mina ngisebenza ngemali, so if you want the 5,000 rands cash giveaway, I think it is in your best interest to make sure that you pay attention. So let's kickstart things. I want to start with Cornelia. Tell us about your role in your organization and what skill set are you actually looking for?
Okay, so when I get back to myself and where I fit in with Talk IT in the Adcorp Group, I'm actually a trainer of heart, and within that, I'm the business unit manager. They're actually managing quite a couple of technology portfolios. So within that, we train, we upskill, we are so-called the technology enabler. So whenever you're looking for a job, or when you're looking to upskill into your career, we would be your one-stop shop to actually come and look at all those skills required within any career. Basically, not just in technical. So this is just basically what we do on a day-to-day basis. When I'm looking at what skills would we look at, we're looking at passion drivers. Anybody that's really passionate about what they would want to become, we're really there to help you grow and to assist you where possible to get you to the next level. So it's all about passion, all about, want to be the change that you can be.
Thank you so much. Nokolo, you are in the talent acquisition space, right? And we're seeing quite a lot of times everything is going into the globalization of everything, and everything is becoming technological. And we are seeing that so many of the careers that were mundane and everything that was just simple now needs a technological insight in that. How important is it for individuals like ourselves who are still studying, who are doing various, different careers. I'm in the branding space, for example. I'm in communications. What role does technology play in that, and how do you make sure that you identify those skills in all of these relevant degrees that are coming up and these qualifications?
That's actually a good question, Alfie. And I'm sure a lot of you guys sitting here are studying different, degrees. And probably part of the challenges are you're looking at yourself and thinking, I'm studying HR. How do I fit into the technology space, or how do I have the conversations of tying myself back into the technology space? So the interesting thing about careers these days is no matter whatever you are studying, Alfie mentioned here he's in branding. Currently, there's a huge, what you call this digitalization strategy, or digital marketing, what you call the skills that they're looking for in marketing, right? Same goes for HR. We have moved a lot into, technology. So part of, upskilling some of the skills that I have, for example, though I'm actually a marketer by qualification, part of the skills that I'm also working towards, getting is upskilling myself in the technology space. So bringing it back, what are we looking for? So we hire across the value chain. I did mention that I'm in the talent acquisition and management space. So I'm the person that hires you guys to come into the organization. I'm the person that ensures that you stay in the organization. I'm the person that ensures you are trained while you're in the organization, promoted, grown as in your career. So we literally manage the end to end. And one of the things that we are looking for are, fresh starters. We want people who think outside of the box. So which is why I'm happy that the Microsoft and the Talk IT team is here, right? Because how do you upskill yourself over and above the qualification that you are studying with more of the technological qualifications to help you be marketable out there? We'll talk a little bit about it. What is it that I must do as a young person to perhaps maybe be recognized by companies if I want to get into a graduate program, if I want to get into an internship program? What is it that you must do? I already have the degree. How do I get into the door? So I think as we continue the conversation, we'll discuss it, but definitely it's important that you guys understand the filter, or how does technology play a part over and above the qualifications that you are producing today? How do I then also, over and above that, add onto my skill set and via technology?
Sure thing. Emmanuel, you are from Microsoft, and from when I was in high school, I've always been so inspired by the work of Microsoft. You guys are a Fortune 500 company, and you guys do so much work across the world, right? And technology is a huge, huge driver of what you do. With everything that is accelerating, I see social media is accelerating, artificial intelligence is accelerating, the greenhouse economy is accelerating. So many of the things that we knew as mundane, as right, as what we understand as true, has changed so much. You could be based in Abu Dhabi, doing a job in Cape Town, because everything is just so online. What would you say is a huge driver, and where should we now look into when we are now considering various career options and positioning ourselves, be it on social media, be it on our CVs? How do we position ourselves as the youth to say, I want to participate and be able to interact on those sort of spaces? And I know Microsoft is a huge driver of that.
Okay. All right. So with the platform that we have already established and designed with Microsoft, which is the Mzansi Digital Learning Platform, I think everybody would benefit from the platform. Just visit it. We have a lot of courses, a lot of content that is Microsoft content and can help everybody in any field to maneuver online. So for my side, I think we are moving in a very quick pace. So cybersecurity is very important. In any organization, you have to be able to maneuver online. So it's very key. It's a very key skill set to have. It's a course that we obviously have on the platform as well. Another thing that I think is very important, I think, is a software developer. I have a friend who is earning a lot of money creating apps, and I think everybody would be, it would be a very beneficial skill set to have. So if you can if you are interested in coding, designing apps and so on, I think it would be a very beneficial skill set to have, because now we have Uber, which is just a platform, but it's the biggest taxi industry in the world, and they don't even have a single car. So it's important to think next level. It's always important to be innovative. So that's another thing, I think. And data analyst, I think data analyst is quite an important skill set to have as well, because every organizations deal with a lot of information, and it's important to be able to clean it, integrate, to interact with the data. So that's what I think as well. So I think everybody will benefit from the platform. Visit the platform. You'll see all the content that is there. It's all free.
Thank you so much. Cynthia, I am... Oh, refill. Oh, refill. Befanele as no Cynthia. Oh, now. Hi, Cynthia. As you say, hi, Cynthia. Hi. Refill. I am sitting in the audience, right, and I'm looking at ABB, right, and I know that ABB is a huge organization. You guys have got so many various career opportunities that one can plug into. Take me through your various internship programs, your learnership opportunities, your graduate and trainee programs, and all of that sort of stuff. Where can one channel themselves in if they're considering joining the ABB family?
Okay, thank you, Alphi, for that. The first program that we have is the Global Trainee Program. So we basically take students, we like to say we have a master's degree, but for me it's someone who's innovative, right? For me, the three things that are important for me for a program is someone to have the ability to be innovative, someone who's a critical thinker, and someone with a good attitude, right? A teachable attitude. So our global trainee program basically is for 2 years. You go across the globe. You will visit 4 countries across the 2-year span. First, it will be your country of origin, which is South Africa, or wherever the other global trainee programs are. The other one would be New York, Singapore, China, anywhere in the world that you can think about. So that's the first one, which is the global trainee program. Usually we put people in finance and engineering onto that program. What we are trying to do is to create a global mindset, right? Like Alfie said earlier on, that you could be in Cape Town but working for Abu Dhabi or something. So we are trying to first show these individuals to go and experience the different places in the world, to see how people work and operate, because it's not the same. How we work and operate in South Africa is not the same as the people in Dubai operate. So we're giving them that opportunity to create practically a global mindset, but it doesn't mean, as we are sitting here today, that we can't, because we have companies like Adcorp and Microsoft that can give us that opportunity to start already. Secondly, we have a graduate program, and in our graduate program we have engineering in terms of electrical, mechanical, industrial engineering. The program is about 2 years. We make sure that you get registered with EXA. We want to make sure that whatever we touch becomes great. We want to make sure that the people that come and train with us are world-class citizens as well as world-class employees, so that when you leave ABB, you have an opportunity to go and work for another company. And then we have support functions like HR, supply chain management, finance, anything that you can think about. Most of the support function, business subjects, and that we take you to Henley, right? What we're thinking is we're thinking ahead of the curve. We want you to think ahead of the curve. We don't hire you for now, but we want to hire you for the future, right? For example, you come from university, what I want to stress, and I think what other people have stressed on this platform, is that your degree lends you the opportunity, but it's what you do in the program that is going to determine your altitude in terms of the kind of experience, the kind of job that you're gonna have. And then we have a learnership program. Our learnership programs are basically for people who have matric and are living with disabilities, but all our programs are inclusive of people living with disabilities. And we have apprenticeship programs for people who have N1 to N6 in electrical, amateur winding, mechanical, and the like. That program is about 36 months. We will take you to a college for the first 6 months, 24 months on the job, and then the last 6 months, we will work towards you getting a trade test experience. And we also have a female bursary program for anything that you will study. It's not that we are excluding males in this, it's just that we are working towards also uplifting women in our communities. And we have another bursary, but it's for engineering exclusively. We don't take a lot of people, but we are working on another bursary, and we will send you more information about that. But guys, very key, your degree will only get you in the door. In fact, during our interview process, it's not a one-on-one, because what are you going to tell me about your experience? What experience do you have? Sure. So for me, I put you all, if I have 6 people, myself and Neo, if we have 6 people contending for one position, all of you will be in the room to listen to what the other people are saying. For me, it's about seeing who your competition is. It's about doing your best. And most of the time, you don't even need to call back the individual to say, listen, this is where you can improve, because you've already heard, you've already listened. If at that point you came unprepared, I promise you, after that you will prepare, because in the world of work, things come up at any time without anyone giving you notice. I tell you the day before, listen, there's a presentation tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you need to prepare this, this is the brief, send me back the presentation by 7 in the morning, the interview is at 11 o'clock. Because that's what we get.
I'm so sorry, I have to cut you. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I go on and on.
It's okay. I've got one more question that I need to add, but before I add that question, let's remember, please, if you are joining us online, please continue the conversation online. Our social media handles are all online. We are All4YOUth SSA on all social media platforms. And of course, our hashtags are All4YOUth SSA, hashtag Youth Month, hashtag the Career Hookup. So make sure that you send your questions through. I see that we are getting questions on our YouTube channel and all the platforms that we are streaming live on. So make sure that you ask those questions. I've got a question for you, Joy. You are the glue that sort of combines everything that we see here. And I'm sure that there is somebody who may not necessarily be a student, but in a leadership position in an organization, who also wants to plug in and participate in what All4YOUth Sub-Saharan Africa is doing. Why are such programs important? What is the thought process? You guys have been in operation since 2019, if I'm not mistaken, which is brilliant. How did you come up with the strategy? Why are such programs so important? And what would you then say as a call to other organizations to plug into the work that you guys are doing here? Is it on?
I think, first of all, not everybody is going to be working for a company, right? I don't know how many people here want to become entrepreneurs or want to own their own businesses. It's really important when we're thinking about the unemployment rate to think about, yes, you've got a degree, maybe you'll be able to be fortunate enough to get into a company, to get an internship program, to get a graduate program. But if that's not the path for you, and the path for you is to go into entrepreneurship and make a difference within that space, there's organizations like your Nestlés, like your ABBs, like your, our partners that are willing to work with you on driving certain projects. So for me, my story obviously started at Nestlé. I was a graduate in their program, and essentially what that helped me to do is to be able to identify that currently where I am, I want to do more outside of the role that I was currently in. And I was given that opportunity. I think as All4YOUth SSA, the idea behind it is that it's not just one organization that's working and doing its own thing and making a difference. All of these companies come together and they're willing to make a difference together. So even with this event that we've done today, we've used local service providers, youth businesses that provide services. And they are the ones who are collaborating towards the work that we're doing. I think it's important because we need to know that all of us sitting in this room all have a part to play in making a difference in our country. It doesn't just land on one person. It doesn't just land on the fact that we're all going to get graduate programs or internship programs. Maybe your path is different. And if your path is different, we are the kind of company we want to be the example to say it is possible. But you need to be willing to put in the work and also understanding that, yes, there is a position for you in an organization, but there aren't jobs for everyone. And in fact, you can be part of the solution in creating jobs for other people as well. So that's what we think of. We think of collaboration, we think of working together, and we actually are trying to drive people to understand that you can be an entrepreneur, you can still make a difference, you can work with other organizations, even though maybe you're just starting out.
Super stuff. Thank you so much for that, Joy. I'm going to open the floor to our question and answer session. As I had said, please remember to ask any question. There are no wrong questions. Do not fear to be laughed at or anything like that. Just make sure we are boozer because this is for us. There's a question that was asked on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Shout out to Undovu. Ndovu says, to you, Emmanuel, how does one get themselves in the door to work for an organization like Microsoft? What does one need to do? What qualities do I need to possess if I want to work for a global organization like Microsoft?
Okay. So from my side, what I just think is that you just have to be a hard worker, a go-getter. You always have to show initiative, to always be learning, never stop learning because things change quite rapidly and change quite quickly. Years ago, there was a shop, it used to be a musica. They used to sell DVDs, CDs, music, but then now they out of business. So you always have to be forward-thinking, be, never stop being innovative, coming up with great ideas that can potentially change people's lives. So it's always important to be forward-thinking and to always show passion in whatever you do. So always be hungry and never stop going for your life, chase your life.
Super stuff. Do we have any question from the floor? Yes, that gentleman over there, if we can pass the mic to that gentleman over there. If you can stand, sir, introduce yourself and then ask your question. What's your name, sir?
No, thank you. My name is Mbongeni Debkhomnis, the SRC president of the University of Mpumalanga. So my question is it's actually a question that comes with a comment and a suggestion.
Sure.
So what says Refilo? I heard you talking about the global programs that you guys are having, but then within that program that you're actually talking about, you only talk about Western countries, you talk about Singapore, you talk about Abu Dhabi and so forth. So my question was, within these global programs that you guys are having, do you have any programs that are basically meant for for Africans? Because honestly speaking, if you look at the reality of the state of the nation at the moment, is that a lot of things are actually sent through to Western countries. It's Eurocentric. That's the thing. So I believe that basically my suggestion to you guys would be that can you please have programs that are basically meant to empower Africans? Because remember, as Africans, we're all suppressed by the same people that you guys are actually supporting with these programs as Africans that it should be giving to us as African citizens. So a further question again is that from the programs that you're having, since you talked about the global programs, you talked about other programs as well, try by all means to actually get to implement or initiate these programs to benefit our African citizens here. We are youth here. We are unemployed. We are just going to school for reasons of basically they just want a degree, which is a paper. At the end of the day, I'm going to be at home sitting there homeless, jobless. So it's this kind of things that you guys actually have to look upon. Basically, not only trying to get funds from IMF, the World Bank, overseas, also Africa, because remember, we're striving for United Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that comment. I'm not sure if I was clear in terms of the number of programs that we have. One of the programs is the Global Trainee Program, which focuses on Africa and Western countries to integrate the two, so that first world countries can learn from third world countries and third world countries can learn from first world countries. In South Africa currently, in ABB, for our youth in Africa or South Africa, we have 70 students on a graduate program. So 70 students across the board from TET, UJ, and whatsoever. So we just have different categories of program. The global one was just one of it, but we do exactly what you have commented on just now. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I'm going to ask a question to you, Noxolo, and this is a question that comes from Uyoliswa, who's also joining us on the YouTube channel. Uti Uyoliswa, we see that quite a lot of times organizations have got brilliant graduation, grad programs and trainings and internships, but after that year, a student or an employee is no longer absorbed into the organization. What are organizations doing to change that, and what is the retention criteria to ensure that once you've done your internship, you are then absorbed into the organization?
It's actually a brilliant question. So maybe let me tell you guys a bit in terms of our programs and how they work. We have the 2-year graduate trainee program that Joy mentioned. She was a part of a few years ago. And we, of course, recruit across the board, right? We recruit from engineering, HR, quality, food production. I'm not sure how many of you guys are aware that Nestlé is actually the biggest food company in the world. So we are by far bigger than a number of the organizations that you think are big in the food sector, right? So what our programs do is we have different categories. We have the graduate program, which from our retention point of view, we retain around about 98% of our graduates, firstly. And that 98% is either you finish your program and you decide to pursue other opportunities by yourself, or, if we really don't have an opportunity for you, which is quite rare, majority of the time we retain all our grads. We have the internship program where annually we take between 80 to 100 young people across our sites, yeah? So we have factories across South Africa where we obviously produce food, we have got distribution centers, and we have our main offices that are based in Bryanston and Joburg. And of course, in most cases, we are not able to absorb all 100 young people. But it's so funny because yesterday I was busy doing, a summary for the Food Bev CETA, where we were trying to also measure our retention when it comes to our interns. And we're not doing quite badly. We are absorbing a number of the young people, especially in the production and manufacturing side of things, in our factories. We have our apprenticeship program. our apprenticeship program is meant to retain you in the business because we train you for a period of 3 years to get your trade test so that you can be absorbed into our system and become a millwright, a fitter, an electrician, depending on your field of specialization. We also have our differently abled program where, we bring in over 60 young people every year who are living with disabilities, and we don't have, match restrictions, and we place them in the different sites. And even in that regard, we do try to absorb as many of them as possible from a percentages point of view. We are very intentional about, developing young people. And in most cases where we cannot absorb you, we do then try, for example, with our differently able program, we do then try to appoint agencies that specialize in placements to ensure that they assist in helping you, get you jobs. Of course, again, it's going to come back to just because you are, absorbed into, or just because you are appointed into an internship program or graduate program, it does not guarantee you the job because you must still do the work to want to be retained. You want to get to a position where after your 12 months or your 24 months or your 36 months program, even your own superiors, are the ones that are fighting to retain you because you have proven to them that you are that hungry, that you can do the job. You are not going to get retained just because, you are in the internship program. So I think that's very, very important to highlight. But yeah, we, from a Nestlé point of view, we really do thrive in ensuring that when we do have young talent in the business, we do try to keep it.
Thank you so much for that. Do we have any other question in the audience? I saw that lady with the armband. If you could introduce yourself, please, Siswam.
Sanban. My name is Malba Wagamhlaba. I'm a graduate Konala TUT from 2017. So you can imagine it's been 6 years. So I want to ask Usis Notolo, what are you guys looking for actually for one to get an internship? Because it's been 6 years, nothing. None of the 100 people that applied for those internships, not only your company, but everywhere, nothing. What are you guys looking for?
On now. If I may ask, have you applied for any of the Nestlé programs?
Usually there's your Twister and other placement agencies. So you get to find it on Facebook and then they say apply for this. And then there's also Nestlé's, maybe it's a scam. These days you can never know. So how do I?
I'm asking because when I say have you applied?
Yes.
For any of the Nestlé programs, because let me make you an example. Our programs, there's a specific way to apply, right? We have a gamified process, okay? We use a gamification process and it's solely to eliminate the challenges where people say we want an average of 75%. We are very well aware that not every young person, who retains or who keeps 75% or below 75% is the kind of skill that we want. So we created a game, but it's an assessment tool game where we assess the character or we assess your cognitive and agility, right, in order to see if you are fit to our program. Hence I asked, have you applied? Because it's an automated thing. You play our game, the game scores you, gives us an average. We then shortlist you based on that. We always advertise our opportunities on our web pages. So if you don't follow Nestlé now. We are about to launch the graduate program in the next coming few days as well. So if you are interested to apply, you would have to go through that process. But guys, let me be also very clear about opportunities. Okay, and I'm not just saying this because I'm not saying you don't apply for opportunities. It does not help to say that companies do not have opportunities when you actually don't apply. You have to apply in order for you to get considered. You have to, there's platforms such as All4YOUth where you don't have to pay a cent for you to know how to construct your CV or how do I make myself marketable or how do I get myself a mentor that will help me position myself in such a way that when an opportunity comes, I'm ready for it, right? So we can't also just complain and say there are no opportunities when we are not taking the initiative to start applying for initiatives. And I know unemployment in South Africa is so high that a lot of young people are discouraged, from applying because they believe that it doesn't matter, I'll apply and not get the job anyway. But what about those that are applying and getting the jobs, you know? So it's important that we bring ourselves back. And, you know, I was saying this to my son the other day, where I said, write down the number of companies that you are interested in applying for as a young person in future. If you're top 10, Nestlé is one of them, have a top 10. Research about the different programs that they offer. Look out for their, you know, opportunities that they might have. Apply for all of them. And yes, after you apply for all of them and you don't see any change, then you have all the right to come back and say, you guys are not doing anything for young people. But give yourself that opportunity where you make that, you know, intentional choice to say, I'm going to write down 50 companies I want to work for, and I'm going to ensure that I know about all their youth programs so that I apply for them. So I think that would be my advice to you.
Thank you so much. And to add on to that, just before you ask your question, Sano-san, the other thing that we need to take into consideration, and I'm saying this because of a question that was asked by Ukanye Mfeka, who is also joining us online. Kanye's question is, as a brand communications professional myself, how do I use my skill set to position myself in the work that I do? So I used to be the head of communications and marketing at the South African National Parks, Abu Kruger National Parks, and all of that sort of stuff. That was us, and I took care of that portfolio. But I realized, Uti, in as much as I love the work that I do and I love the job that I do, I'm not built to work for someone else. So I then decided, no, the world of work does not work for me. I'm going to take on my own role and start my own business. And I realized speaking is my passion. So I created that opportunity for myself. We live in a digital institution and a digital world where we've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, we've got social media. All you need is a simple data connection for you to be able to position yourself and show us the skill set that you have. So many of us in this room are so influential in so many different ways. But sadly, we have been programmed that you have to go to school, get your degree, get into a graduate program and apply, and then you'll be hired and all of that sort of stuff. And after doing all of that, I realized that's not what works for me. So you might be in this room and you are seeing all of these, all of these dead ends, which is, when you apply, I mean, how many of us are going to get into the Nestlé program? How many of us are going to get into Microsoft? But each and every one of us has got a specific skill that we can offer. Find that skill. Identify that skill. If Guguti, you work with your hands, work with your hands. If you can cook, cook. If you are a singer, sing. Make sure that you identify that skill set that you have. And once you've identified it, start pushing it on social media. That is going to be your easiest marketing, where you don't need to pay anyone. You just post something and you can shut the internet down. And from there, people are going to identify that skill set, and then you can professionalize it. Uthi sizomela ama graduate program and all of that sort of stuff. It might not work for everyone. Graduate programs definitely work. I'm a product of a graduate program, but I realized, no, this is not what works for me. I'm going another direction. I'm going to take one more question from the audience. Yes, this one more question from the audience, and then, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'm Spacey Shabalala.
Hi, Spacey.
Yes, my question is for Joy in particular. Yes, she mentioned that they branch out to assist those who are entrepreneurs, right? Who feel that they don't belong in the typical academic field. So my question for her is that, do they have financing programs where they offer people startup money for their businesses? Because starting is always a problem.
Okay, so I think one of the things that I want to mention is, so I mentioned that obviously I'm from an organization called Power Africa. I don't know if I did, but I'm the executive director there. we're also the implementation partner for All4YOUth SSA. So there's a number of different areas that we focus on. Firstly, employability, right? So to help you become employable, whether it's coaching, helping you with your interviews, helping you with your CVs, that kind of thing. Secondly, it's actually employment, sharing the different opportunities that are available within the organizations. But then thirdly, what we help young people with is entrepreneurship. Currently, we have an initiative, and it's actually one that we just closed now. It was a competition called All4Hustlers. All you had to do was to comment on one of our posts talking about what you want to do and what you want to drive as a young business owner or someone who wanted to start a business. There's a guy that actually entered the competition. He got his community to vote for him. Nobody did it for him. He got his community to vote for him. What he needed at the time wasn't necessarily funding, but he needed a laptop, so we were able to get him a laptop for his organization. Part of what we also do as Power Africa is we drive entrepreneurial programs. So currently we've got an initiative called Fund Her, and essentially what that opportunity is, it's in affiliation with African Development Bank, and it's to help young female businesses, because we know that there is a lack and a gap there in terms of financing, to get financing for your business. What is important also is that you have compliance. So a lot of the times, just with graduate programs and internship programs as well, people say, you know, I've applied or I'm not getting any feedback. Your compliance is important when you are a business person, right? Is your business registered? Do you have a bank account that is for your business specifically? And then the tools and the access into financing is about you finding the areas and the opportunities. But we do have an initiative that helps with funding. It's called Fund Her. You can check it out as well. And then on All4YOUth, All4Hustlers, that campaign runs for young people that are wanting to drive business. Funding is there, opportunities is there. It's just a matter of finding that information and tapping into it. I also want to just add, when we started our business, we didn't have funding, right? I started saving, and my business partner started saving from high school. Not necessarily that we had a salary or anything, but sometimes you have to invest in your own business first before you can get funding from anyone else. The funding and the opportunities is there, but what is important is you have that information and that you look for those opportunities. They are there. And if you don't know where else to go, DM us. We will help you find those places to get the funding or to get the opportunities that you can get your first step in the door for your business, or whether you're looking for an opportunity to work.
Thank you so much for that. We have to wrap up our online session to anyone and everyone who's joining us online. And we have managed to find our 5,000 Rand winner, which is going to be online, right? But there's an in-person winner. Aye, guys. You see, this is the problem. Mamelan. This is the problem. Aningzwang. There's a 5,000 Rand online, and there's a 5,000 Rand here. Bese khona ne opo. That's number one. Number two, anyege ukoloze kangaka nge 5,000 Rand when you did not even input a question yana encane. Goloza laphayana ngama-shades, bheka uhleka at the top of her voice, not listening, but the first person to complain, uthi, why 5,000? Like senzani ngale 5,000. You get what I'm saying? So we need to change that mentality. We need to work on that mentality, because we can't just expect things to be dished out to us. We have to participate and engage. When you put yourself forward, people identify it and they reward it with something. I kid you not. Trust me. So our 5,000 Rand winner online, they've got 30 seconds to comment to go to their online, all right? Lerato Mate is our 5,000 Rand winner. Did Lerato comment? seconds. If we get that comment from Ulerato, she gets that 5,000 Rand. Ukon Lerato. Okay, let's give Lerato a big round of applause. All right. Now, and that was chosen by a random generator that we had online that went through the names and the participants that were joining us on the live stream. Now, I want to choose a prize for our in-house winner, ne? And I want to make it a little spicy nyana, man. I want to make it a little spicy nyana. We've done online, so now I can stand most, right? Ne? Now I can stand. I want to make it spicy nyana so that we make sure that everyone stands a chance to win. So the two prizes are the Oppo phone, and there's another 5,000 rand, am I correct? So I've got an Oppo phone, ne? And I've got another 5,000 rand, and I'm going to open the house, yeah? 5,000 is later, and right now I'm giving away the Oppo phone, all right? I'm gonna give 5 people, all right? 5 people an opportunity, ne? To tell me in 2 minutes, tell me, I don't want to make it political. I don't want to make it political. In the current state of what we have as a country right now, what are the 5 things a young person needs to have if they want to make it in this world? The 5 things. And from that, I'm going to let the panel decide. Actually, no, the panel's not going to decide. We're going to use a noise system. You guys are going to decide who gets the phone. Good? Fair? Fair? Not.